What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday Gun Day, and welcome back to Gun of the Week. So this week's Gun of the Week is an awesome, badass 2011. You're not going to want to miss it. But before we do, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and subscribe, it really does help me out. Share it with a friend. Why not? But yeah, so speaking of helping out, a good buddy of mine loaned me this weapon, and it's not mine, unfortunately, but he lent it to me in order to show you guys. So here we go. We got us a Staccato XL. Ooh and ah, right? So empty magazine, clear, safe, and empty weapon. Let's talk about it. So Staccato, made in Texas, USA. They make amazing 2011 firearms. And yes, they are traditional, or not traditional, but they are actual 2011s. They have coined the term 2011. And if you don't know what that means, again, it just means a steel frame with a detachable grip module. Staccato chooses to go with the polymer grip module. Take that for what it's worth. Some people love it, some people don't. But the best thing about it is the fact that you can disassemble it and take the polymer grip off and put on an aftermarket aluminum or stainless steel grip. So that's really, really cool. Most 1911s or double stack 1911s are one solid piece from frame to grip, and you cannot change that. So Staccato really did do something amazing where they made that detachable and changeable. Moving on. This is Staccato's competition entry into USPSA or the tactical games or any type of firearms competition that there is. So it is the long slide, so hence the XL, right? So it's a 5.4-inch bull barrel. Very, very nice. Solid machine work. The fitment is great. You can see the tapering there. The tapering is very, very nice, very subtle, but it locks up solid. You have a Dawson Precision toolless guide rod, so you don't need extra tools to take the guide rod out and disassemble the slide. So that's really, really good. And it comes with a 7-pound recoil spring. So 7 pounds is very, very light. I have read and I have heard that some people had some issues with certain types of ammunition, so they opt to go with a heavier weight, so like an 8 or 9 pound spring. I've heard some people change to, but for this gun, it is a stock spring, stock 7-pound spring, and I have had no issues with it. Mainly fired 115 and 124 grain through it today, and no issues. Cycled perfectly fine. It is buttery smooth. It is a steel frame, so the frame of the weapon is steel. The, again, grip module is polymer, so that's really, really nice. It has awesome texturing on it. Feels really good in the hand. The contouring, the undercut here, all very, very nice. It's smooth here and rough here, so it's perfect. Yeah, so we'll keep moving on. We got a Dawson Precision fiber optic front sight up on the front there. Moving back, we do have a Trijicon RMR. This is the this is the RM01. So basically just means that this optic doesn't have an adjustment. There's the red dot right there. So the RM01 just means it doesn't have an adjustment. So you'll notice that it does not have the plus and minus button on either side. So you cannot adjust the brightness. From what I understand, it auto dims or auto illuminates brighter depending on the lighting condition. So that's kind of cool, but you know, you have to kind of trust that this adjusts to the perfect lighting all the time. I don't know if I do. I do like the option to change or increase the brightness or decrease the brightness on depending on my environment, but you know, again, this isn't my gun. They were very nice to throw this optic on there to let me review it. So it's still a Trijicon, still an RMR, works great. The plate system. So Staccato has a plate system that comes with it from the factory. When you go to purchase it, you can choose in the drop-down menu, you choose the plate and obviously for which optic you're going to be mounting on it. And for the XL has the raised, blacked out, co-witnessed rear sight. So that is very nice. So co-witness just means that I can see my sights easily through the optic. So some 2011s, especially competition centric, they don't have sights at all. So, you know, some people like that, some people don't. It kind of all depends on what you're into. I don't mind it. I have an MPA that has sights, and I have an MPA that doesn't have sights, and they both work great. So in the unlikely event that your optic dies, then obviously having the backup sights can save you, but I do not trust my life to these guns, meaning for competition only when that don't have sights. So if I was going to carry this or use it for work, obviously I would definitely have a pair of backup sights on. So the option is definitely cool. The plate does mount decently low, so it is cut into the slide a bit, so that's nice. You can see it sits decently low. It's not the lowest I've ever seen, but it's good. Got the skeletonized race hammer in the back there. This one does have a palm safety. All the Legacy series Staccatos do have palm safeties, so the XC, the XL, the P, all that good stuff. They do have palm safeties or grip safeties. I'm not a fan of them. If this was mine, I would pin this, or I would probably just change the entire grip module to a Chile or even an Atlas grip, only because I like aluminum or the steel frame. I like the weight. The XL is specifically designed for competition, so I want to make this gun the best I can. And in my opinion, everyone's different. I like heavy. So like my MPAs are 57 ounces, almost 3 pounds. But I love that because it just makes controlling recoil so easy. I did get to shoot this today quite a bit, and recoil is not really an issue with this. But it's there. I mean, every gun has recoil for the most part. So, but the light spring and the soft shooting, I don't know, just your ability to grip and manage the recoil on this gun, I would say is much better than the P. I find the Staccato P a lot more snappy. The XL, this extra barrel length, does help. Maybe it's weight, maybe it's in my head, but I do feel that the recoil on this was a bit more controllable. So I really do like that. It does have a rail, obviously, you can see that. It does have an X300 Surefire on there. That's mine. I just put it on because I did not have a holster for this. So I use my Tier 1 concealment MSP holster, which attaches to the light, so I can put any gun in it, which is great. You do have ambidextrous grip, thumb safeties. So that's always good. Again, in competition, there are often times where you are forced to shoot one-handed or support-handed. So having the ability to utilize your safety is very, very good with both hands on both sides. They don't get in the way. I don't find myself hitting it, so I didn't have any issues with it today. This does have an extended magazine release button. So you can see it sticks out from the body quite a bit there. Helps get a good purchase, if you want to call it that, or it helps you get a good button press. So changing magazines on it is very, very nice. And it does have I believe it's the competition magwell. It's the larger one that Staccato has on their website. I like it. Works great. Feels great. Fits on the bottom of my palm here. You can see where I make contact with it, so that helps sure up my grip and make sure that I don't lose my grip as I'm firing or during recoil. So that's nice. Well, the only other thing really to talk about is the trigger pull. So from the factory on the website, it does say that they're around 2.5 pounds. So a 2.5 pound trigger on a competition-centric 2011 is, in my opinion, the sweet spot. That's where every 2011 should be, 2.5 pounds, maybe less. Again, specific for competition. I would not recommend having a 2-pound trigger for duty or for work. But at the same time, if your safety's off, you're in a really bad way. Who really cares what the trigger pull is? If your finger's off the trigger and your safety's on, your thumb rides on top. If you need to, take that off and pull the trigger. You can do that rather quickly, but that's a training thing, not a feature. So yeah, 2.5 pound trigger, and it does feel like a 2.5 pound trigger. It is very, very nice. can try to ghost it. Very little play, actually. I'm on the wall there, just about 2.5 pounds, and it breaks. Fantastic. Love the trigger on this gun. Let it go. Oh, very nice. Very powerful tactile reset, and I'm back on that wall, and another 2.5 pounds, and it breaks. So very, very nice. One of the things I don't necessarily like, and this is a personal thing, is the trigger shoe. The trigger shoe itself is polymer or plastic, whatever you want to call it. Yes, that could easily be changed out. Oh, where am I? I'm off center. There we go. It could easily be changed out, but I don't think that a firearm that costs as much as this does, or any Staccato does, should come with a polymer trigger. That's just me. Maybe I'm a snob. I don't know. But I just think that having a good aluminum trigger in there is the way to go. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that it's polymer on polymer, and that works better. I'm not sure. Obviously, the people at Staccato could actually answer that better than I could, but I just think that having a little bit of a quality trigger in there would be better, in my opinion, for the price. If I didn't mention it, the price on these, this is straight from the factory, from the website, is $3,599 starting, obviously without any accoutrements that you might add. But for that price, give me some aluminum, give me some steel. I like to have that. But on the contrary, I have heard people say that they love the polymer. They like it. They like the grip. They like the fact that polymer semi-flexes. So as you're shooting and controlling recoil, it's actually absorbing some of the recoil, and instead of straight into your hand. They say aluminum or steel puts that recoil, or the vibration from the weapon, into your hand. And sometimes polymer doesn't as much. I can't tell. I shoot a full steel frame MPA, and it feels great. This feels good too. I like the steel frame. That's just me, personal opinion. But yeah, so what I want to do is just double check the trigger with you guys. So again, factory specification says 2.5 pounds. Oh, I forgot. I got to hold the trigger. Or excuse me, I got to hold the palm safety down so I can pull the trigger. So as we do that, yep. Looks like the factory was right on the money as usual. Right there at 2.5 pounds. So it is a 2.5 pound trigger pull, and it's a phenomenal trigger pull. The play is just right. The tuning of the trigger is great. So, you get a metal trigger with a crappy trigger job, who cares? But they give you a polymer trigger with a very good trigger job right out of the factory. So I don't know if I can complain. So yeah, I took it to the range, did some bill drills, did some reloads. I'll show you that footage now. And at the end of my shooting today, I came back and really thought about it and evaluated my opinion, and I like it. I really do. But I just don't know. I just don't know if I could pay that price. I'm not a huge Staccato fan, or a fanboy, I guess. I'm not, Staccato is a great company. I love what they do. I love what they stand for. I love that they back the blue. I love that they have a fantastic law enforcement or first responder program. They do a very good discount. They have, they call it the hero package. They give extra magazines and all that good stuff. So if you do discharge or use this weapon, not discharge, excuse me, if you do get into an OIS or an officer involved shooting through your department and with a Staccato, Staccato will actually send you a new firearm, because those of you who don't know, if you get into an OIS, they take your duty weapon and they give you another one. Usually it's whatever, you know, it's whatever the agency issues, and Staccato will flat out send you a new gun and you hold on to it until you get yours back from evidence. So really, really awesome. Like I said, their support for law enforcement is top notch, and the military alike. So really, really cool. But I'm not a rich man, and it's probably because I have so many guns, but it's a hefty price. But I will say this too. If you got the money and you're in the market for a high-end quality 2011 and you want to jump into the USPSA limited optics limited optics division, this is an awesome place to start. There's, you know, the options are endless. You can customize this till your heart's content. Like I said, you can change this. You can do colors on it. You can change the internals, different triggers, trigger jobs, all that stuff. So, you know, world's your oyster again when it comes to customization with 2011s. Everyone is making parts for 2011s, which I love since I shoot 2011s for competition. So yeah, that's that. That's this week's gun of the week, Staccato XL. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said before, if you wouldn't mind, like, share, and subscribe. If you guys are in the South Florida area and you're interested in getting some training, you can jump on my website, www.oneshotdefense.us. I have monthly training sessions down here in South Florida, and just try to get better together. Try to combine the tactical world and the competition world, put it together, and just make badass firearms operator. If you can be fast and you can be smart, you're unstoppable. So that's the goal there. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out. I'll see you guys next week. Be safe.